governor's warrants are signed prior to that.
Okay, so it's just waiting in the process now. Yeah.
Damn, this guy
It's
just
going
doesn't
through
stop.
the process. It's probably a lot of waiting
Stop
on
it.
your end, yes, but there are legal things that will be happening on the back end.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step back and get your paperwork. Oh, you already got your paperwork. Go ahead and step back with the officer.
Just go, be gone. He just don't get it. Nah, he's just acting. Sometimes these people just act. Hey, I want to know what he did in Nuevo Mexico. That's what I want to know. Because he don't want to go back. Next, let's see what this next
just one quick second, please,
contestant
sir.
did. Let's see. Hey, only wrong answers and emojis. What did he do? What do you guys think this guy in the orange
Okay,
suit
can
did?
I have your name and date of birth, please?
Sean Medellin, March 23rd, 1986.
Medellin is how it's pronounced. Okay, thank you, Mr. Medellin. And I understand that I have a lawyer from the county attorney's office representing the state appearing on this matter. Appearance of counsel for the state, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Brooke Gahn on behalf of the state.
Good afternoon at this point now. Ms. Gaunt, thank you for being here. Okay, Mr. Medellin, you are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of child sex trafficking. It is a class 2 felony, and 1 count of attempted sexual conduct with a minor. That's a class 6 felony. Based on my reading of the information provided to me by law enforcement in a document called a Form 4, I am inclined to find probable cause to support those allegations. Before I do that, any information or supplementation the state wishes the court to consider in terms of probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I have found probable cause to support those allegations. Mr. Medellin, I have determined you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. I have appointed a lawyer to defend you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference January 30th, and then you'll have a preliminary hearing February 3rd. Both of them will be at 8:30 in the morning, both in the Superior Court downtown. Before I consider or impose any release conditions, can I please hear argument or recommendation or both from the state?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state's asking for a $50,000 cash-only bond, along with electronic monitoring and no contact with any minors. This is based on the nature of the charges. The subject allegedly made arrangements to meet with what he believed to be a 16-year-old girl to engage in oral sex in exchange for money. The state believes that he is a danger to the community. Additionally, the state would ask the court to seal the Form 4 because it contains information regarding an ongoing law enforcement operation.
Okay, having heard and considered the state's motion to seal the Form 4, I will so order that the Form 4 in this matter remains sealed. Okay, so to the extent that is, well, it is an oral motion, it's granted, the Form 4 is sealed. Okay, Mr. Medellin, I will give you an opportunity to address the court. I will caution you very strongly to proceed carefully. You do not have a lawyer in here representing you. You've heard the state's lawyer is on the line. Anything that you say can be used against you. So I caution you against making any statements regarding the facts about why you're here, but I am willing to entertain anything that you wish the court to consider in terms of release conditions.
This was my first offense. I've learned my lesson. Trust me, being in orange and being cold in the cell all day, I will never do this again. You will never see me in this courtroom again. And yeah, I've learned my lesson. I'm not doing that again.
Okay. Having heard and considered argument and recommendations from both parties in this matter, I do note, Mr. Medellin, that you do not have a criminal history. My review of your criminal history indicates no prior failures to appear in court hearings, no prior criminal convictions, whether they be felony or misdemeanor. I do hear and acknowledge the state's position, though, that based on the nature of the allegations in this case, those allegations in and of themselves create an inference that you pose a substantial risk of harm to minors in the community. For that reason, I am inclined to impose a bond in this case. I will set this at a $25,000 cash-only bond.
25.
If that bond is posted, Arizona law does require you to be affixed with an ankle monitor prior to release. If you post that bond and you are released from custody, you cannot have contact with any minors. I am also prohibiting you from accessing the internet through any electronic means if you are released, with the exception of employment purposes.
You're welcome.
You may access the internet for any employment purposes. You also cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription if you're released from custody. Anything else I need to address, Ms. Gahn?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Medellin.
I have a question.
Sure.
If I have the ankle monitor, would I be okay to go to work and come back?
Yes, I'm not imposing a requirement of house arrest, so I'm not suggesting that you cannot leave your house. You just have to be affixed with the ankle monitor so that your movement is tracked.
And then that's $2,500. You said.
It's $25,000 and it's cash. It's a $25,000 cash only bond.
All right, cool. At least you made it cash.
So I can't call.
No, you can't call.
You could try. I've heard conflicting information from people on that. I've heard some people tell me that bonding companies will not work with cash bonds. I've heard some people tell me there are some that will. So it won't hurt for you to call some and see if you can find one that will work with you. I don't know whether you will or not.
Could we consider lowering it a little bit? I mean, I'm not a threat.
So you heard the state request a $50,000, or was it $75,000?
50, yeah.
So they requested a $50,000 cash bond. So to the extent that you're asking me to lower that, I already have down to 25. Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much. Paperwork, I think, is ready? Yes. Okay, you can step back to your left. Okay, thanks for being here, Ms. Gaunt. You are free to be excused.
No bueno, absolutely not, no bueno.
Okay, number 31 on the calendar, Antonio Salgado, date of birth 12/7/67, is not in the courtroom because he's being housed at the Lower Buckeye Jail and was unavailable for transport. I was able to conduct an initial appearance hearing with him by phone prior to this calendar. On that hearing, I informed him that he was here on a failure to appear warrant issued by the Tolleson Municipal Court on a misdemeanor liquor allegation, and that he was entitled to a lawyer for purposes of release conditions. I gave him his next court hearing date, which was an arraignment hearing February 3rd at 8:30, and told him he had a $50 secured appearance bond. Number 29 on the calendar, Kyle Blair, date of birth 8/27/97, is not in the courtroom because he was unable to function in general population due to making threats. He is here on allegations of new charges. Those allegations are 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations and appointed a lawyer to defend him. His next court hearings will be a status conference January 30th and a preliminary hearing February 3rd, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown, and he has a $100,000 secured appearance bond. Number 10 on the calendar, Audrey